We decided one daily segment wasn't enough for Bill Bush and Bill's Thrills, so we turned it into a week-long podcast recap. Here's Bill's Thrills Rewrapped, sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is a classic let's talk about press box volume to a magnitude that you've never heard before.
Ooh.
This is what the, who the, it's incredible of what was being said and the volume of what it was said
Got my attention.
on two different scenarios from this weekend. They were two mind blowers. And this is one where you just, the press box would just, you wouldn't imagine. On the sidelines, it's calmer. Press box is loud, loud, loud. The first one is the extension of the ball by the Chiefs by Hardeman. I mean, it is, you're taught so many times, you never, ever, ever extend the ball at the goal line. That was a first down play, if I remember right. It was right after Pacheco's run.
I think you're right, down at the 3-yard line, I believe, right?
So it would have been second and an inch.
Yep. You're right. You're absolutely right.
It would have been second and an inch.
It was after a Pacheco run.
But he tried to get you. It's like you're taught 10,000 times. The problem is sometimes people extend the balls and they get a touchdown and it's kind of, oh, okay, worked out. And all of a sudden you try, then the classic, try to make a play.
Right.
It's like, it was horrific. I mean, the press box would have went nuts.
The press box to the coach's box.
The coach's press box. So I told you, I sent a text to myself at 7:31. You guys saw the text.
You
I texted
screenshotted the text yourself.
At 7:31, I put down the brilliance of Kelsey on his play, which was, I think, a second down play.
Didn't extend it.
And he did not extend the ball, and it ended up hitting the pylon for a touchdown. He did not extend it.
Did not.
I set my exact text. I said, brilliance, Kelsey, not extending the ball. At 8:01,
Hardeman.
mayhem happens where he extends the ball
So the
to
coach
give
is
him a
up there?
10-point lead.
Yep.
To give him a 10-point lead.
Game over.
He extends the ball, and the ball goes, everybody knows the rule. If it fumbles through the end zone, it's a touchback. I don't know how you could gut yourself any worse than that. I have no idea. I have no idea.
It's a, yeah.
The second one where the crescendo would have been deafening.
In the coach's box.
In the coach's box was the 49ers at the end of the game. They intercept a pass.
Yes.
And he gets up and he starts running back and forth across the field. And everyone's screaming, get down. The game's over. Everybody's going. So if you're in the press box right now, you see it happening. It's like seeing a train wreck. Everybody's going, get down, get down, get down.
The game is over.
You might have a heart attack.
And you would have a heart attack. And you are losing your mind. You'll see players on the field. They were all yelling at him. And he's running just like he's like, I got to score. The game is over.
Right.
It was insanity.
Oh, God. They won, though, right?
They did end up winning it. But it was just like, you couldn't imagine what those press boxes were like during that time of could you imagine if the Chiefs lose that game because they extended the ball on the 1-inch line?
Hardeman.
Now here's the deal. If you just fumble, it happens. Fumbles happen. It's like, no, is it bad? Yeah, it's bad. But you don't look at it as an error. Those two plays could have been just colossal errors, that happened in the game like that. And then also I noted I text myself also in the Green Bay game, which I said on air how many times. If you drop an interception, you'll lose the game. I said it numerous times. If you drop an interception, you'll lose the game. Green Bay has one thrown right to them.
They did.
They're up by, I think they were up 7 at the time, or up by,
4.
I think they were up. Anyway, they're up.
Okay.
And they throw the ball right to him.
Yep.
And they drop. He would have ran it back probably to about the 15-yard line. But, I mean, that was their chance. That was their opportunity to be able to get it done, and that thing all went away. But I just want to talk about the volume.
The volume. It would have been crazy. It would have been crazy in the box.
It just absolutely like that. People just go, you lose your mind in the press box sometimes.
It gives me a headache to think about.
Yeah, you lose your mind, and it just plays it. And that one there was just like, you get so mad even I'm sitting there going, I'm just watching the game as a fan.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, okay. I went back and forth who I wanted to win.
Yeah, I know.
Between the Chiefs and the Bills. I was literally back and forth.
I didn't go back and forth.
I finished as we were going through, I went to the Chiefs. I went to the Chiefs on this one.
You're alone on that one.
I'm not with you.
I went to the Chiefs on that one
not in this row.
as I was going. And part of it was just that. And then There's another rule, which I rewatched the play because I wasn't sure, and my dad texted me concerned, and he was right. Ron, about so we have a term called city and country. That's a common football deal, and so we do fumble recovery drills all the time. And you're like, hey, you're in the city. How do you recover it?
How do you?
You're on the ball. You curl up around it.
City.
So you get down on the ball. If you're in the country, it means things are wide open.
Okay.
You scoop and score. You try to run and scoop and score. The Chiefs guy tried to when Allen fumbled, tried to run and scoop and score, and the guy got a hand. If he goes just to recover the ball, he most likely recovers the ball.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And so instead he went country.
He went country
and tried to scoop and score it.
Yep.
And then
the big offensive lineman
got
jumped
a hand.
on it.
But the guy got a hand in there on that. Where if he was going after the ball, he gets on that ball most likely.
And then you're saying that's when the Buffalo Bills' big offensive lineman jumped on.
Yes, and so that would have been a play also
Country.
where you'd be very
city. He went city.
What's that? He went country, which means it's wide open.
But the Buffalo Bills guy went city.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that was just a large error, and you drill that. That's something that you drill. You have a time when you say, hey, we're going to drill this on how this works.
Yeah.
And so right there, you're just like, and imagine losing that game for the Chiefs. You had a chance to recover a fumble or don't turn it over at the 1 inch line.
Football.
They found ways to lose, and they still won the game by 3.
I just
They
don't
gave
know
away a
how
lot
you
of
do
things.
it. I get in that profession you're in.
I was thinking about this. I'm like, I don't. And then how you fly home, Green Bay, when you miss a field goal, a very easy
Short
field
one.
goal, short field, which at least would have sent the game probably to overtime. Plus, the game changes when you're down 7. All of a sudden, the feel is different how that game plays out. And they could have went up by 2 scores on the fumble. That would have made it just colossal for the 49ers on the fumble, on the missed interception by Green Bay. And then the field goal that was missed last night, I have to say this, I've never seen a ball do what it did. It was like a boomerang. If you watch it and you just stopped it after 0.8 seconds
Bad.
and said, good or bad, you're like going, oh, it's good, right down the middle. And it just it boomeranged so hard. I've never seen a
Snapped
ball.
right.
I've never seen a ball move like that. And
That's not wind?
That wasn't
no,
wind.
no, there was no wind. That was just that's just like if you hit a golf ball wrong and it's a slice and you just go, what just happened? I've never seen a ball take a turn. It didn't go like this. Like, hang in there. It just the flare on it was remarkable.
What caused that?
Well, would cause that. And then I said,
what caused that?
I feel for those for those 2 kickers. I feel really bad for. I feel bad, especially for Green Bay's kicker, because the head coach said he said in an interview they were talking about before the game, when their kicker goes out there, he goes, "Yeah, I just pray.
That's
he makes
great.
it."
Yeah, it's good. That's good
He won't be back
positivity
next
there.
year. That
He's
kicker
young.
won't be back. Will he be back next year?
I think he will be.
Really?
Yes. That's Bill's Thrills, sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors. By the way, episode 14 out tomorrow of the podcast, 7 a.m., including The Power of the Pen, the beginner's guide to being fantastic at field storming. The refrain from the chain. That's about the U.S. mail letter. The chain letter.
Chain letter.
All that, all
Refrain
that
from the
more.
chain.
Episode 14 out tomorrow at 7 a.m. of Bill's Thrills. Check that out.
Nice.
This is a
Download
stick
that.
up.
Download it.
Simple.
Apple,
There's 3 guys. There was
Spotify,
one
anywhere.
albino. There was a tan guy.
Two bugaboos.
Oh, we're doing bugaboo.
What is
come
bothering
on.
Bill today?
I love this
Things
day.
bother me, and things hit me pretty
Oh,
hard.
they do hit. They
this
do bother
weekend.
Bill.
Hit me real. So I went. It's twofold, if that's okay. Hope the breakers are okay.
Two
with that.
folds.
Twofold. Vindictive Venmo. No cash kills the stash. Vindictive Venmo. No cash kills the stash.
This is drug induced.
Vindictive Venmo. It's all about the lines of punishment. The lines of punishment. So I go to the dance competition at Millard North. Everything there, cash free.
What?
So you go to get a ticket, and most people don't have a ticket yet. Some did. You go to get it, and it's some guy, this poor guy, he's a volunteer. And he's got the iPad out and with the little swipe thing on top, and people are stacked up behind. Because you can't be like, $10. No problem. Boom, walk in the door. Nope. And then it wouldn't work. So I had to give him my card. He had to input everything manually. Manually. And I'm just like, I just want to go in and watch my daughter dance. It's not his fault. It's society's fault. It's society's fault. So then we get to, you want to go to concessions? That's fine. The line was 70 deep. 70. You know why? You had to Venmo them the money for your hot dog.
Oh, God. This is a good bugaboo.
You had to Venmo them the money for your hot dog. Oh yeah, it happened.
Venmo.
Yeah, I mean, so everything's
concession
cash free to get in and get.
Don't do this.
I mean, there's no one counting cash, which brought me up to this one. No cash.
Just a second fold.
Yes, thank you. No cash kills the stash. If you don't have the cash bar, which I've talked about, so we had someone come over from Jake us from Action. We had a little issue with our furnace this weekend.
Action Plumbers.
Yes,
That's right.
So they came over. Great job. Jesse was his name. So anyway, came over, and luckily I had some cash to tip him. If you only have Venmo, that's all you do is Venmo, then his wife is immediately aware that he just got tipped some money. So he can't go to Rosie's and get a hot beef and play Keno and not have to worry about it. If
100.
You can't hide any money from your
100.
wife, and that's important to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You want to be able to have a wad of cash all the time, be able to hide the money. No cash kills the stash. Yeah,
We're in trouble in this world right now.
when they can track everything, every cent, every deal.
PayPal, Venmo,
all
kills
that
you.
stuff.
Kills you.
Yeah, just Venmo it. Imagine going that the lines, it was maddening for these people, and I wasn't mad.
sorry.
And I was not mad at the person running because there was like a volunteer.
you're fine.
And I just want to imagine. Think going through this. What are you going to do? Okay, we just got to get one of the parents and volunteer, and they're going to take them. They're going to check people in on this iPad. And the swipe thing didn't work, so every card he had to take, and then I had to give him like my zip code, all the stuff.
For God's sake!
Just like going to a basketball game. Imagine with that, and it's Venmo only, or it's card only, no cash.
I'm sorry.
Just trying to envision the 75-year-old grandma going to the concession line saying,
Yeah.
"What's Venmo?
Yeah,
What about
Yeah.
cash? I got
No,
card.
yeah, there's
No,
a lot.
It's Venmo.
no cash kills the stash.
It's true. Yeah. Here's what happens. Like in Hawaii, when we initially got there, a gentleman comes out and gets your bags, and Sean's like, "You got cash?" And I said, "No, I can't. I might have to go to a cash machine to get the tip." And Sean looked at me like, "How do you not have cash?" Well, in this world right now, it's a little tricky because there's some instances where you do need cash. Not many, though.
Yep.
It doesn't seem.
I
like.
still carry
not
it.
very many.
I have it at all times. My wife will ask me that 4 times a week. You have some cash?
Yeah.
You have cash? I need some cash. So I always carry cash. That's a big deal for me.
Yeah.
And what did your dad carry?
Oh, my dad had like $700 all the time.
Yeah.
Like
His
he'd whip
pocket.
out he'd whip out his thing and be $1,000. I'd be like, "Why are you carrying $1,000?"
Because
That's what old guys do.
he
Money clip.
He had,
There's hundreds. I'm like,
Yeah,
jeez.
he had his life together. Is what he did.
Yeah,
Because guess
apparently.
what? There's especially in the tipping world, it's huge.
Yeah.
It is huge. I always have a stack of ones in my car.
Yeah.
So when I go through I have a
Smart.
I have a prepaid, like everyone does. I kind of have a prepaid deal for automatic car wash that I go through. On 84th and Old Cheney. It's awesome.
Good.
It's awesome. And generally, it's a really youthful group that's always working there. So every time I go there, I always give them a couple dollars, and their face just lights up. They're like, "This is awesome.
You're the only one.
This is awesome." I don't know. It doesn't seem like they
This
get
guy's
tipped a lot.
incredible.
But anyway, my point is about that. But then also, like I said, if you had to tip someone in Venmo, immediately they're aware of what's going on. Also, like that, when you get, which I didn't realize this when I talked to waitresses, when you tip on a card, then they get taxed on that tip. So again, so they get a cash tip. It's like, yeah, that's all right. I can hide this from the government.
This is amazing, actually.
Yes.
That's an amazing one. You had to give them your Venmo.
Yeah.
I don't
Give
even
me
have Venmo, by the way.
I don't.
I
either.
do PayPal and Cash App.
What would you do at the game then if you couldn't eat?
I don't
then?
know.
You'd be starving.
Yeah, Cashton grandson plays freshman basketball, and his dad did mention to me one time, it's not always going to. You're not always going to be able to give cash. I'm like, what?
Imagine like that.
I just blew it off like.
Hey, can I
can't. Whatever.
Imagine
Yeah,
this one.
right.
I'll have a Diet Coke and give me 2 hot dogs, and you have in your hand you have a $20 bill,
Yeah.
and it's no good. It's no good. It's no good here.
You sound
How
old.
can you turn down cash? I don't get that.
Well,
Yeah, that's what's going on.
yeah.
It's my bugaboo.
That's a good
Anything
bugaboo.
anything from the text line, Jake?
We do have some text line response. See, who in Columbus? I'm sorry.
Bird.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Come on.
Bert.
He says
there it is.
men carry cash always from Bird.
Okay, God dang it. I don't have it.
And that's been a deal of mine before. That's a previous one, but this one really hit me with what went down.
Ryan in California says he always has to keep cash on hand for taco trucks that don't take card.
Thank you.
Okay.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Think
There
about
you
the
go.
food trucks out there.
Think about the food. truck.
Bolt says, I hate it that cash is not used anymore. It's BS.
Yeah.
It's used, though. It's used in some instances, right?
Not enough. Not
Not
enough.
enough. Not enough.
Someone says regarding the privacy thing, set your Venmo to private. I keep at least $500 in the app just in case for this tip problem. You know?
Yeah, your wife will find that.
She'll
Don't
figure it
think-
out.
you don't think- yeah, you're
Someone
crazy.
says, gotta love the secret stash. Love the secret stash.
The
There's somebody
secret
there.
stash makes your life go around. It does. To have
Yeah.
that, it's like,
Yeah. Oh,
all of a
God.
sudden you want to stop through McDonald's and just say you want to get maybe I want to get a double cheeseburger. Yeah.
Are you aware that
do it on your card and your wife knows in 30 seconds?
Right.
Are you aware that PBA is no cash?
Oh, God.
What's
It's
that?
It's card only at PBA. Look at it. Uh-oh.
Just bite your tongue.
Look at look at
Bite
it.
your tongue. Bite it.
I can't change that. That's just truth.
No, I know.
I can't change the way
Is that how we
PBA
want
is.
our life to be? Is
I don't.
that how we want it to be?
Someone says, think of the lemonade stands. Carry cash.
Yes.
Because Bill
Bring-
told us last year. And Bill's throws.
When
Make
you
sure
see
have
it in
cash.
the spring, you see you right. Imagine going up there like that. Oh, I'd love to stop. I just have my card. You take a card.
Can you take a
You're
card?
8. I know you're 8, and your mom just made that.
I got to. They probably have a machine now.
And I'll be honest with you. I will walk away from a lemonade stand with a machine.
The machine.
I will. I'll make that. That's a hard stand for me. You know my love for the lemonade stand.
Yeah, it's tough.
Lemonade.
Would you really
Kool-Aid.
walk
I
away?
would. I think I would. I wouldn't. I'm not swiping my card. I'm not doing it. Not doing it, guys.
Back to more of Bill's Thrills Rewrapped. Sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Grubbing with the grandparents. Grubbing with the grandparents. Dining with your grandparents was so awesome. And it's exactly how it's going to be at my house as a
Okay.
grandparent.
Okay.
It's going to be there's no rules.
No rules.
My grandparents, there was never any rules of what was going on. There's going to be sugary cereal. There's going to be tons of it. Cocoa Pebbles. There's going to be any sugary cereal you want. The kids are going to have it lined up. And if like, it's like, oh, Tony can't have that. He needs to have a yogurt bowl. Nope, not at our house. You're going to have sugary cereals that we're going to have at our house.
That's right.
Also,
Boom.
like that, my
Jake likes that.
my grandpa Rudy would always give us coffee, and he just load it full of regular sugar, no sweetener,
Really?
and cream. So you'd be like first grade. Want a cup of coffee? Absolutely. Make it up for it like that. Just pour a bunch of creamer and
Really?
sugar. Oh yeah,
Just like hot chocolate.
Always had coffee. Imagine just sitting there in first grade. I'll take a cup of Joe. That's what did it with. That's what did Grandpa Rudy
Puts
did
hair
that
on the
for, like
chest,
that.
you know?
Grandpa
Come on.
Rudy's from.
Oh, it's he's from Pender.
Pender.
He's from Pender. Yes, like that. Cheeseburgers at 2 p.m. That'll be
Oh,
very
God.
common. Very common. I used to stop by my grandma's house in the middle of the day. She'd be like, "Hey, you want something to eat?" Like that. Oh, I'm good, Grandma. Just a little.
You sure
There
got
it
your
is.
cash?
All of a
God.
sudden, pop middle of the day, cheeseburger, boom,
That's-
right there. Then she'd say, "Told you you'd eat it, Rudy. Told you you like
Yep.
it." I don't want it, Grandma. I'm good. Nope, no rules.
Told you you'd eat
no
it.
rules like that. Zero fruit. There'll be no fruit in the house.
come on.
No fruit in the house. We're not doing fruit. They
No
can have fruit-
watermelon?
No, they can have fruit at their house.
Okay.
They have fruit at
This is a
at
sugar
their
house.
house.
That's fair.
Yeah. We're not doing that here. Everything breakfast will be fried in bacon grease. You'll be fried in bacon
Everything.
grease because that was what real breakfast was when I had it with my grandparents' house. Like that that was the
Grubbing
best.
with Grandpa.
Grubbing with grandparents
Grandparents.
right
You're
there.
like this.
Unlimited pudding. Unlimited
Oh,
pudding.
yes.
And also, I like the small individuals, but back in our day, at the Breakers, remember this? It was snack pack, and you had to pop
Oh,
it. Remember
yes.
that? You popped it. It was kind of a, it was like I used to open a Pringles can the same way.
Yep.
It was like boom,
Yep, boom.
and it was snack pack
God,
pudding.
that's right.
Hunt's snack
I don't
pack
wanna think
pudding.
about that.
And there's going to be unlimited pudding at the house. Strawberry shortcake always, and then there's always going to be a counter full of fun. My grandma Blanche and Carl always had that. In the corner was just a giant mound of stuff, cinnamon rolls, just you name it, random stuff, and it was just piled. Blanche, Grandma Blanche had it. It was just piled into the corner, and you just go over there and just rummage through it, and then you eat whatever you want. There was no rules. There's going to be no grubbing with grandparents.
With the grandparents. That's
gonna-
the way
so-
it should be.
And that's the way, and life's going to be the same at our house. There's going to be no rules.
Right.
There should be no rules as a grandparent like that. You've got grandkids.
Yeah,
right?
all I do is say, just eat whatever you want.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's the same thing.
The same thing. That's what
Except
life's
for
about.
fruit. No fruit, though.
I'm doing no fruit. They can have fruit. I'm not going to yell at them for having fruit. There could be a potential black diamond watermelon show up in the summer. I get
Yeah.
that. But all of a sudden, it's not going to be, hey, make sure you grab your Bing cherries over there. Nope.
Well, big cherries are really good.
Not doing that. Not at our house. Not our house. So
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I like the grubbing with the grandparents.
Yeah, yeah.
Brings back better times.
Yeah.
bring back better times.
I get better times thoughts there.
And I've seen some places where it's a little strict, and I'm like, that's not happening here. And there's always going to be a big tub of Cool Whip in the fridge too. Just put a big dollop on whatever you want. You want some Cool Whip? Yeah, boom, throw it on there. It'll always be a big. And I'll also have the Ready Whip. Kind of the what's the spray?
Oh
whip
yeah,
spray.
where you just
Yeah,
put it
it's in your mouth, so kids can just
Really
grab it.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's okay. Can I do that?
Right.
Yeah, milk. Excuse me, Grandpa Bill. Can we drink milk out of the carton? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
right out of the gallon.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that.
I wouldn't think about that.
No,
anyway.
no, just right out of the carton.
I'd do it.
Right out of the carton. Hey, Grandpa Bill, can we do? Absolutely. Can we have some Nestle's quick? All right over here. Count your scoops though. Make sure you only put 2 in. Yeah, no. It's gonna be a fun plex at our
10
house.
scoops.
It's gonna be a fun plex. Anything from
It
the
should
breakers
be right
Jake?
now. Yeah, see what the breakers are saying.
Yes, we do have some thoughts on the breakers. How about the candy drawer from East Lincoln West? Candy drawer?
Candy drawer would be a great one. That's another great
Candy
one. Thank you.
drawer.
Yes.
We got the memories at Carl and Blanche's from Bolt on
Yes,
the text
yes,
line.
yes.
Yep. Little Debbie cake snacks from Kent,
That'd be
maybe.
great. Absolutely.
Little
Yeah.
Debbie's.
Yeah. That would be in the count. That would be in the corner of fun.
corner of fun.
counter of fun. Yes.
Jim in Lebanon, Indiana says Grandma would give us a bowl of Jell-O, pour milk over the top of it, and then hand us the sugar bowl to cover it with sugar.
That's incredible. I've never had that, but you know what? He remembers
sound
it.
bad.
He remembers it though. He does.
Sanderson says, my grandma taught me how to make French toast with bacon grease. All breakfast was fried in bacon grease, not butter, for God's sake, flavor.
Thank you.
Ooh, interesting.
Flavor.
Interesting.
Yes.
OG Les Lancaster says, I was 6 or 7 and told my grandma I wanted a snack mid-morning. 30 minutes later, I had a full plate of biscuits and gravy. I was a husky kid.
I was a husky kid. Had to go. I need to buy a pair of jeans. Go to the husky section.
It's better for you.
That's
husky.
Oh yeah, it was like it's just in a full meal. It'd be nothing like they said. You want to, wouldn't mind maybe like I said a cheeseburger or a steak. Yeah, not a problem.
No.
Cook it right now. What do you
No,
need?
it was incredible.
You
You're right.
You want stuffing and turkey? Yeah, give me a couple hours. We'll have it in there.
Couple more. This is a great response. This is a good one today from the breakers. My grandma always had fresh pie in the summer. Oh, and ice cream. It was amazing. That's from Kmart Steve. on
Fresh
text line.
pie.
Oh, imagine
Fresh
apple pie with Swan's ice cream, vanilla,
vanilla.
but just straight vanilla.
At any point of the day.
Yeah, at any point, the ice cream again. Eat ice cream when 10 a.m. Darn right you will. You will
what
at
my
our
grandma
house.
and grandpa had.
Someone says, Grandpa used to give me Cinnamon Toast Crunch in a salad bowl.
That's
It's eating
awesome.
salad. Come on. It's healthy.
Like a wooden bowl?
It must be that.
Yeah.
Right? Candy orange slices in a candy dish.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
pretty common from the grandparents.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. We got lemon custard for somebody want. Yeah, they get that from Grandma and Grandpa. Homemade chocolate pudding with the skin on top.
Oh, the skin was
Oh, the
incredible.
skin.
Oh yeah, that was incredible.
The skin.
Yeah, I can remember my mom making. I can remember she had this pot, like kind of a pan pot she made, and for some reason, the handle wasn't on it. It was just a screw, and it was with a handle like broken off. But that was the pudding. Everybody knew when you made that. That was the pudding.
Interesting.
Like that. And then when she'd make the pudding, she'd put it in these bowls and put wax paper over the top of it. I don't know why that did, but she put wax paper over the top of it. Kind of you had to let it cool a little bit. Like that. The wax paper is over the top. But homemade pudding is incredible. With the skin, that's
skin,
that,
yeah.
You'll enjoy this one. My grandma would make us grilled chocolate sandwiches instead of grilled cheese sandwiches. Grilled chocolate.
chocolate. Thank you.
Wow.
What grandma is that?
That's an amazing
I bet she has an
grandma.
incredible
Never
name
heard
too.
of that.
Imagine going to. Do they remember it? Yeah, they do.
We used
Better
to drink,
times.
We used to drink Schlitz beer with Grandma. Okay, wow.
Schlitz.
Slits.
Schlitz, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a case too, like that, where it'd be not a big deal like that. Hey, the kids had a couple beers. They're
No.
12. They're 12, yeah. They help me
long as
mow.
you're at home.
As long as you're at home, they have a couple beers. Not a big deal.
Someone says, how about Coke in a wine glass? Coca-Cola
Yes.
in
Yeah.
a wine glass.
yes.
Fancy
yeah,
here.
fancy.
Yeah,
we
it seems
jazz
like
it up.
something that- yeah.
Jazz it up a little bit.
We'll
for
wrap up
yourself.
this one. Matt G says, my son wants to know if he can come over to Grandpa Bill's after school.
Absolutely.
Sounds like
It'll
a
be-
fun time.
I said, when you come over, like you said, we talk about the houses that have all that and then the no rules. Yeah, it won't be like, hey, guys, we're not doing that. We're going to try to go low carb here. It's low carb. No, gluten free.
All carbs.
Gluten free, guys. No, we're not.
All carbs.
I'll
are
have some
welcome.
gluten free snacks if someone can't have gluten. I'll have
Yeah,
some
yeah.
things
You better.
for 'em. I'll be
that's a
prepared
good
for
idea.
that.
That's
Like
a good
that.
idea.
That
There
was, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
That was a wonderful edition of Bill. They're all wonderful. Wonderful edition
They're
of
all
Bill's Thrill, sponsored by Dirk Scott and Ty at Mid Plains Advisors. Call them.
Can you get that anyhow? Is there any way you can re-listen to that,
You
Jake?
can. I'm glad you asked, Bill. Actually, that episode 14 went up yesterday at 7 a.m. And it has its own podcast. Just type in Bill's Thrills, wherever you find your podcast, Spotify, Apple, I think Stitcher is one of those. I don't know where you get podcasts at.
Stitcher.
Wherever you find podcasts, it's available. Download it today.
Can you just go? You can just go on our website.
I would just type in on your podcast server.
Okay.
Just type in Bill's Thrills. It will pop up. You can download it.
That's it.
And that's how you do it.
I gave you guys a teaser yesterday, and I flipped everything
You did.
because I said I got a major bugaboo going on.
Oh.
And I just flipped it because I go, this makes sense because I know who's the problem. I know it's the youth. So now it's the youth.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, it's the youth.
God.
It's the youth that's the problem. And so I was able to put that into cool parenting tips.
All right.
I was able to flip that over
Okay,
for us
let's
right
see
now.
what you got here.
Oh, this is going to resonate with you now.
Mm-hmm.
Super snow buffoonery. The side street snow parking and social awareness.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
you've got to educate the kids.
Yes.
So when you get these snowstorms, the side streets get shrunk a good 1.5 feet on each side. It's now much more narrow as you're coming through. And I'm just going to tell you this never happens. Never, ever do people park on the street simultaneously. Like, oh, they both parked?
No.
Because what's going on, 3 times I've had to retreat. People park right across from each other on the street, and you can't get through. There's no space to get through. And I'm just like, who in the world, when they pulled up and the other car's already parked, thought like, we're going to park it. It's right across from them. I think it's good. And they get out of their car, and they don't realize that there's one car, a little Nissan got through ahead of me. And they're going like, the guy reached out and pulled his rearview mirror in to get through. I'm in the big rig, so I can't make it.
No,
so now
no
people
chance.
are behind me. I have to get out of the car. I got to back it up. I can't make it. It's complete buffoonery. No one parks like that. No, 2 cars don't pull up side by side and just get out like that. So the other car's already there. So when you pull up to park, just pull forward a foot. That's it. Just not a foot. Pull forward about 8 feet so you can do the little curve through to get through. Okay. They park exactly across from each other. And this always happens on snow. So all of a sudden now the curb now is what? An extra 18 inches out. So there's not enough room on the side road to be able to get through. And it's just complete. And then also you're going through like slush and frozen stuff trying to get in between those two. It's complete buffoonery. It's got to be fixed. We have to address it with the kids. This is you.
What's the first step to doing that? How do you?
I think it's just a parent when you have a kid. First of all, it'd be like I was this close. I was only about 2 blocks from my house. I about went to the door. Just excuse me.
No.
Whose vehicles are these out here? Can someone be?
Who's responsible for that?
I want to know. I want to know.
That needs to be on video.
I want to know who parked in this. Because somebody's pulled up. It had to be some high school kids like that, and they said, "All right, gonna go over to Connie's house." Boom, pull in, park directly across from the deal. It's like, are you kidding me? And so, like I said, that's how it happened because they didn't park simultaneously. They both got out of the car. And when you get out what? On the roadside.
Okay.
You're on the roadside, so right away you have an issue. So the other person, when they pull up, when they get out of the car, it's like, how did this happen? But it's happened to me 3 times where I've had to retreat. Couldn't get through. Couldn't make it through.
Come on, people.
So if you just,
be better.
You think it's the youth, huh?
It's the youth. This is high school. It's youth. It's the youth. I know it is. Yeah.
That's
I know
a
what's
good
going
one.
on.
Yeah, that's a bugaboo.
Hey, was this the same Connie that was ran into by Caitlin Clark? Is that what you're talking about?
Same one,
Same
probably.
Connie.
Not if you do that now.
Caitlin Clark ran into her. Let's be clear on that.
Connie got ran into.
Yes,
by
Connie got
Caitlin
ran
Clark.
into.
Yeah.
One of those two is technically supposed to be on the court.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's court
I'm the
storming.
first person to agree that the right on the court goes to the player, but there was a flop.
There was a major flop.
There was a flop.
Good God,
Yeah.
she threw back her head.
Yeah, there's a major.
come on,
There's a
Caitlin.
major flop.
Somebody on her team had to say, "What are you doing?"
How about for the rest? 20 years from now, Connie, someone's gonna pull that video up. She's gonna be driving a minivan, dropping kids off at soccer, and someone's gonna be like, "This is you, right here in this video."
She seemed nonplussed.
I loved how she after she kind of looked back and just melted into the crowd.
That couldn't have been a bad problem.
No,
Oh, God.
imagine that night they're down at the whatever the version of the rail is at Ohio State.
You ran into Caitlin Clark.
I went out.
Oh.
Hey, was you that was you, right?
Yeah.
Hold it. I got this video. This looks a lot.
Come on, Connie.
Her parents are. She's
She
telling,
just kept going.
She's telling her parents she's going to the game, so they're watching this. They're like, Connie, is that Connie? Connie? Oh God, Connie? Why God? Why?
some response before we get to the game show.
Yeah,
we got a game show to play.
From Bill's Thrills. Some response. Someone says, you like this one, Bill. UPS driver here, preach.
Yeah.
A UPS driver. I think they'd have some
Yeah,
thoughts
this is
there.
real, guys. This is real. I didn't make this
That
crap
just
up.
got real.
Yeah, it just got.
He goes on
I
to
couldn't imagine him trying to get through with the UPS truck.
Goes on to say this: I've had to knock on doors multiple times. I can't just whip Big Brown around anywhere.
Exactly.
Because of Big
He's
Brown.
had to knock down. He's
Yeah.
had to knock on doors.
Yeah, people. It's incredible.
You don't want that UPS man at your door.
Imagine, yes, you have a package for me? No, I need the
I need
Jeep
to move
moved.
the damn car.
I need the Jeep moved. Can you do that? What else we got, Jay, from the line?
Cough Talk just says better times. Yes.
That's the best. Just better times.
It usually boils down to that.
It does. Thank you.
Yeah.
better times. When in doubt.
John Denver, better times.
Earthquake says, amen, Bill. Someone says, don't drive such a big truck, apparently. They're blaming you for the
Hey,
problem.
get off me
it's
on
a
this
you
one.
problem.
Yeah, that's not. I'm not going to take because there was others that couldn't get through. The UPS guy can't get through. How about that one?
Yeah.
Jeff the Texter says that those are the same people that don't scoop their sidewalks either. That park their cars poorly on the street.
There's something to that. There is something to that.
Someone says, I used to work for UPS. You can lose your job if you hit a parked car.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so now we're risking jobs. People are trying to feed
Now
their
we're
family.
risking jobs.
People are trying to feed their family, and all of a sudden, because of the buffoonery of parking not side by side, across from each other, causes the problem.
It's true. The UPS rules are stringent. I had a friend who lost a job. I think he hit 2. That's it.
Same day. Do you ping them? Ping, ping.
Was it a bumper car situation?
Yeah, it wasn't. They weren't bad hits. Just minor will take care of it. They'll put you in the loading zone.
And I get it where it gets a little difficult. I was outside last night, and Oliver, my middle daughter, came home, and she's like,
Ollie.
she goes, we call her Oliver. And I go, Oliver.
Bad.
She goes, rolls the window down. She goes, postman stuck. Got blocked down. It was already dark. He was stuck. And he got off onto the side, was stuck. So grabbed the shovel, went down, dug him out.
Dug him out.
So
that's what you had to do is dig out.
You had to dig him out.
Not
and
push.
They got him pushed. No, had to dig him out. And then I go, hey, I go, I'm going to push from the front. We have to rock it a little bit, but we got to go out the back. We can't make it the front way to build to go. So where I get there right away, I ask him, I go, hey, is this rear-wheel drive? Of course it is. He said. He's so mad. Oh, he's so mad. Yeah, he's so mad.
Oh, God.
The exact words he goes.
Oh, God.
Because everyone wants their mail. No one wants to scoop around their mailbox.
Oh,
No,
boy.
boy.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Oh yeah. I got myself in a heater there.
Yeah, you
So I just
did.
got it scooped out and we
Wow.
moved on.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back to more of Bill's Thrills Rewrapped. Sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Things that bother me.
This is what I like.
Sip's gonna get this too, and it really threw me back. Now, first of all, this is all about high school basketball now.
Okay.
And I will say this: the crowd at the Lincoln East and the Lincoln Southwest game on Friday night was very good. I had incredible seats. I sat down low with Larry Moose.
Did you?
Moose and his
National
parents,
Guard.
and Landry.
So you were
And-
close to the action.
Close to the action. So we're down there. I'm pumped. The game's really good. I mean, as far as the place was full. It was packed.
They're still drawn.
And the Apollinaires were showing up to dance. So I was excited about the size of the crowd. I really enjoyed that. But boy, there were some things that really bothered me. Just drove me right through the ceiling. Let's talk about this one first. I looked at Larry like, how does this work now? They introduce the entire team. I don't like that. You want to get introduced?
The entire East
Start.
whole
Yeah,
team.
Whole teams. If you want to get introduced, be a starter. Try that out. Be a starter. That was a big that was a big deal to be a starter and get introduced. That was a big deal. I'm not into the 14th guy on the team, and then they have to go do the knuckle bump to 14 other people. Then they have to do the bump with the officials to show good sportsmanship. I don't think that does anything. And the officials are standing like, I know, I got you. How about just act like a pro on the court?
Okay.
That's the part
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was
I'm
not
not pushing back. I'm interested.
I did not like that at all. Also, the next part that gets me is the entry of the teams. Both teams kind of went in and out whenever. It wasn't a big deal.
That's trouble.
I'm telling you, the entrance of the team was the deal.
That's trouble.
It would be, you'd have the band ready, the gym, the floor would be empty, the place
Damn
is
it.
packed.
Damn it.
And they would just kind of come out whenever,
Yeah,
whatever.
no.
And there was this, when Sip knows, like back in our day,
yeah.
you ran through the pow,
Yeah.
to the paper.
It was big.
You had a big deal held
It was
up,
a
and they
big
had
deal.
they would paint on it. Whatever it be. Go Columbus or and
100.
you broke
100.
through it.
Go Discoverers.
And you
It was
broke-
a big deal,
it's a
the
big
entrance.
The entrance was a big deal, and the band would
Damn
play.
it. The second part of this really.
It got me so worked up.
They just kind of matriculate.
just kind of
onto the
matriculated onto the
court.
court. Wasn't a big deal. Wasn't a big
Okay,
deal.
that needs to change, and you can lead this. Well, you
Yeah.
are leading it
So
right now.
we need to get back to that, to being
a grand entrance.
Yeah. And then also in the introduction, this bothered me too, was no crossover. Don't want a problem. Don't want an
What do you
issue.
mean a crossover?
So they would announce all the substitutes or the reserve or whatever you want to call them.
Reserves.
Then they announced their starters. Then they announced the other team reserve and starters. Didn't be special. It used to be from Lincoln East, Steve Brugman.
Yep.
From Columbus,
Yep.
Steve Sipley. You come out,
Yep.
you'd shake hands.
Yep.
Remember that?
Absolutely.
You came out and there was kind of a little gamesmanship.
Now they don't do
no,
that.
No, don't want to have an issue. Don't want to have a problem.
Those are good bugaboos, especially two of them. I'm not the first one. I'm okay
Let's
with.
get that the introduction.
But have an entrance.
Have an entrance
For the
There was-
kids.
for the kids, yeah, that was a big deal.
A huge deal.
It was a big deal, and small town will remember this one. Sip, you probably don't have this the same.
Class
But
A
but-
ball.
yeah, class. You're a baller.
Yeah.
So, but small towns, this was big. During the game before, which may be JV or the girls' game,
Right.
in
That's exactly right.
middle of the third quarter, there'd be a timeout, and then the varsity team got up and walked to the
Right.
locker room, and the whole place would cheer.
Yeah,
They would
they didn't
they'd-
cheer us,
They,
but-
they in the big games they would cheer.
Yep.
It's like that's our team.
Yep.
That's our
It's our
team.
game.
And you walked. I remember. I go. I can't wait to finally because I crossed over. Sometimes I was on as a
Sometimes you're
freshman
on the girls' team.
On the freshman. Should we delve into that? I should go over smooth.
Should we
Yeah.
delve into that?
But it was
I'd
like
rather not.
I remember being on the JV team as a freshman, and
Yeah, sure.
waiting to be a sophomore and being part of the starters and getting to make the walk. Instead, I was just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, we came from a better time.
Oh, it was better. It was a big deal. The whole place would kind of roar up and stuff. So to the fans, thank you. The place was full.
That's beautiful.
We also brought in our A team was there. Big Swim and Jay Foreman were calling the
Hey,
game.
see.
That's like bringing. I mean, that's
Brando.
Yes, exactly. That's like bringing in the highest rated. It was like
Nance.
It's like Billis.
Romo.
Jim Nance
It was
the
like
call.
it's like Billis was there.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. So
Nance.
I mean, Swim and Jay, and also I went and talked to him briefly. And Jay Foreman was annoyed, not really with me, but he was very annoyed.
that you were there.
No, just because everyone kept coming up to him. He was so popular. He was like, so he's so popular.
He's kind of
but the
annoying.
entrance and then the crossover.
There it
Like that. Did the crossover like that when you shook hands with the other team?
100.
We're missing that. We're missing that.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Oh, you're so right.
We're missing it.
Better times.
Better time.
Better times.
Some
Hey,
response.
anything
here.
from
yeah,
the-
some
It's
response.
really
here
interesting.
from the
That was
text
really
line.
interesting.
Wet Blanket says, "Bill is my hero."
Let's not overdo it.
Thank you, Mr. Blanket.
He also says, "Dumbest thing in sports is the referee knuckle tap. Referee is totally disinterested in the players. Is going to pucker his face and throw up his hands for the first time the whistle blows." Interesting.
Okay.
He-
If
he
I'm
said-
a ref and
he
I
says
have
you're
to
your
do
hero,
this
though.
to
Yeah.
60 people,
Yeah, it's-
gotcha. We're good. We're cool.
What are we doing?
How about this? Act like just be cool on the court and everybody's
Right.
good.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Someone says small towns haven't changed. They still do that apparently. I
The
don't
walk
know.
up,
I guess.
the entrance was so
Can you
epic.
confirm that in small towns?
The
Not in
entrance
Beatrice.
was. Remember, the court would be completely empty.
I'm so with you
And
on
there
that.
would be a deal. You would kind of. So the,
was a big deal. The band would play.
and the opposing team always entered 1st and you waited for them to come on. Boom, hang on, boo, and then you, but to run through. Now,
It was a big deal.
I will say this: if my only thing I probably ever did that was cool in my life was I was never the run through guy.
You weren't?
I never wanted to be the first
No.
guy coming through.
No.
That is like
I
that
want
was
to be the last.
Yeah, it was like I was more of a last. I was more of a last.
Someone
guy.
says Cornbread says 100. Bill,
Yeah.
as you say,
I know.
100. 100 also
100.
from Bill the Hammer says that. And then someone says, "I'm the head coach at North Central, Bassett and Springview. We announce starters only.
Really?
No
Thank you.
reserves there.
Yeah. You know why? It's a big deal. Yeah. Here's the deal. When we get your name announced, be in the top 5. Try that one out. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we doing? Invite like well, maybe we'll have like the 6th guy go. Well, he's really good. So let's announce him too. Uh-huh. Yeah. We ain't going.
Bills.
So
Thrills. Bills.
this is a little bit small town and I think it still resonates here, even in Lincoln, I believe.
Are we going back in time?
We're going back in time.
No way. I am
yeah.
stunned.
We don't do this
I
enough.
asked just Breakers texting if they want us to go back in time. I don't know because I've never done it before.
Never. This is the first
We
time.
don't do
We
this
don't do
enough.
this enough. We don't do this enough. All right. The asinine elimination
Cussing.
of the small school annuals. Remember the annuals you had
I
in
have
school?
one, yeah.
Everyone had an annual.
100, yeah.
Jake, did you even
A yearbook?
A
talking
yearbook,
about?
yes.
Yes. Yeah, we had a
Annual.
yearbook. Yes, yearbook. Yeah. we
Those
had
have
that.
disappeared.
They have.
Really?
They don't. They really don't even exist anymore. The annuals don't
hardbound
exist.
annual?
The hardbound annual. And when you got it,
Yeah, they don't exist.
here was also a tradition in small towns. You gave your annual to someone, and they signed it.
Yes.
You got the
I did
annual,
that.
you took it home, and then you wrote something in there like, man, we used to party. Remember that? Remember that time on Yellow Brick Road? It was incredible. And so you had this historical annual.
Yep, I got one.
I still got mine. I have a couple. Then and
I look
everything-
at it every day.
every day. I do too. It's a picture of me and my dad in there.
Better
Really?
time.
It's a picture of me and my dad
Really?
in the annual. Yes, in my football. Yes, so he was talking to me on the sidelines, like calling a play.
You are the QB.
Yeah, as a QB. Anyway, the annual was remarkable. When it came out, you went through it and went through all the classes. Now, the small school one was so different because yours probably, for both of you, was like a senior yearbook,
Yeah, we were Class A.
Class A. So our yearbook had everyone in it. Had the
Okay.
entire
No,
high
ours-
school
no,
did
our-
it.
No, ours
Did-
had that.
Did
Yeah,
it?
Beatrice had
Everyone in it.
everybody.
So it had everyone in it.
Beatrice had everybody.
And it shows stuff from the play and this and all the different things. And it was just, God, when you got the annual, it was a big deal. Annuals are here. Yearbook's here.
Oh,
When?
it's a
Today.
huge deal.
See, it's here.
Go pick yours up
Go
now.
pick yours up. Like that. And there'd be these big boxes. You go get them. And then the big thing right away was you start handing them out to people like that. And it would go on for months. They go on for months. And then you come back.
So, yeah.
You come back like that and you hand the
God,
annual
this is
back.
beautiful.
God, it was better times.
Yeah.
Better times. I've never seen I've never seen Olivia with a stack of annuals or yearbooks, as you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
And we like, well, what do you got there? I got 3 today. I got to sign these. Then I get them back to him the next couple in a day or two, whatever. Never ever saw it.
I don't think it's
I don't
happening.
think it exists anymore. You know why? 'Cause it's the asinine elimination of this stuff, guys.
Is it? Is
Asinine.
there? Yeah.
Bring
see
it back.
See on the text line. Is anybody still doing it?
Okay, from the text line. Yes.
Is anybody still doing it?
Yes.
Yes.
Nyla says they still do that in Seward. They still
Okay.
have yearbooks or annuals there.
And
Yeah.
did people
They-
still sign them? Because I'm just telling you, I don't see it.
No, there's a lot that
didn't-
don't do it.
I
I
don't.
mean-
I didn't see anything. Maybe there's a yearbook, but it is the tradition of the signing of the yearbook. That was such a big deal. That was such a
your
big deal.
headline applies. The
And,
asinine
and you would
elimination.
write like in the corner, like diagonal and different.
Yeah.
And also you would make little comments. You going through the page, you saw a picture or something like that. You'd write underneath
a
it
little bit of that.
a little bit of stuff right there.
Yeah.
There was really just don't ruin it, but everything was really fair game. It really was. It was kind of fair game.
Pretty much.
I'm proud to hear this text. Someone says Beatrice still has annuals.
But most of them, I think, have been eliminated. I don't think big schools do it.
Here's the thing people are saying. They still exist somewhat, but nobody signs them anymore.
Yeah,
that was a big part
and
of it.
that's
I'm with
still,
you, Bill.
and
I
that's
love
still
that.
the part that probably is what bothers me. There probably is and also if you were part of the yearbook staff, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
What do you? I'm on the yearbook.
Yeah.
What do you do? I'm taking pictures. I'm doing production.
There's a lot of picture
A lot of
taking.
pictures. There's a lot of stuff. What are you doing? I'm with the yearbook.
Yeah. Well, 100.
Were you on the yearbook staff?
No, I wasn't. They wouldn't let me on.
That me either. I was not even considered for that whatsoever. It was like
But I definitely have one. I have one.
Yeah.
I mean, because I lost. My mom kept a scrapbook, and it was a major scrapbook. I lost it. I thought, okay, I better keep this annual,
yes.
just so there's some recollection.
My
of it.
parents still have theirs. I've been through my parents numerous times. Been through my parents' annuals.
It's amazing.
Someone says, "What's the point if they're not even signed? What's the point?"
I agree.
Signing it's the part of the
That's
thing
the whole.
that matters
That's
the most
whole
here.
thing. If there's a picture, if there's ever been a picture of like me and Sip together, we wrote or something, some comment on that picture. But I can see the handwriting, how neat it
Yes.
was, all that stuff. Also, it was kind of one of the there was a pecking order. You got, hey, sign my annual. And it was like 40 people already signed it. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
That's what I
thanks.
mean to you,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, you always try to,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
It was-
9 names here. What
It was
the
a
heck,
big
man?
deal. It was a big
It's
deal.
a pretty big deal.
We got
It was a big deal.
Downtown Scott says, "Quote, stay cool this summer."
Yeah.
Quote in the
That's a great one. That was a great one.
Stay
Yeah.
cool December, man.
Something, you know.
It's hard to be original.
Yeah, I think put the that like that. 84 rules, 83 rules. That's
So,
was big.
so Phil has a take. Phil says yearbooks have eliminated themselves because they are so expensive. I think my son's is $100+ now.
Ooh, they probably are. What were ours? Probably $12.
Oh, maybe even less than that. I don't know.
Even with the hardbound book,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
hardbound cover.
It seems
They
like
were. And they
almost
weren't
we
real
got
thick.
free,
They're only
didn't we?
about like that thick for. They weren't overly.
No, ours was
You
not
always
thick.
wish you had more. You always wish there was more to it. But here's the deal. I'm not buying an annual if no one's signing them anymore. But like I said, my daughter never brought them home. Never brought them home. Like I got a bunch to do tonight. I got 8 annuals to get knocked out.
That's pretty amazing to see them.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now. Could you imagine if you could go back in your annual? And you're like, look who this is. Who is it? It's Connie. It's the girl who ran over Caitlin Clark. There she is in my annual.
Takes on
She
new
is.
meaning.
That's Connie.
This is her.
There she is.
Let's see. Nate in Dorchester says living in Bill Bush's world is literally like living in a virtual utopia. 100.
It is.
100.
100.
Yeah, you get cash. There's a
Get
tax-free
cash.
app. I think
Better
the world
times.
is struggling
You-
sometimes.
You
and I
sit
listen
under
to
a
Bill, I know.
hairdryer.
Yeah.
Sit under a hairdryer.
World's great. What are you talking about?
Go to that.
Look at Shindy.
Yeah, you get a grease pig contest. You catch the pig, you win. You get to keep the pig.
Chickens are flying out of helicopters,
After
dropping on mats,
dropping like bags of wet cement.
just bouncing up,
Ice
Bouncing
rinks are up. Ice rink.
trotting off.
A lot of stuff going on.
Thank you.
Better
That's
times.
That's a great edition of
That
Bill's
was a really. I don't know how
Bring
you do
back
this.
the yearbooks or annuals.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
bring it
ask
back and
you,
sign them.
I don't
please
want to.
sign.
I don't want to ask you how you do it. I just want you to keep doing it. I don't know how you come up with that, but those are. Those
I
are
can
good.
remember seeing like Stacy, one of my best friends, like carrying. I can see her carrying home like 4 annuals in her hand because she had to sign them that night.
I think. I hope this doesn't sound sexist. I think females got into it a little bit more.
They
than
did. It was
That's real.
guys weren't.
That's-
too,
yeah,
but you
you're
would
right.
sign something. It'd be more like you said. Stay
Stay cool this summer.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What
Be
about the
something-
heart written a long note
No,
about,
no,
I
there was
can't. This is a
something
great
that
year.
wasn't real good.
Such a good friend.
Yeah.
Come on, that was long.
Friends forever.
Friends forever.
Nah.
Not really.
Maybe.
Maybe next year. Pass.